Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They take their head off, nigga.
Pray where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert, another cop just stress the nigga. He ain't thinking, this an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening, is in fact if revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jake. So Tower War, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't be do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young pay. How you real tricking on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear. This shit light. It ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you will never get that hand back. He bitch about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow side, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
All right. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. It is Monday, history breakdown class, where we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. If you're on Clubhouse, go ahead and share the room, share the room, share the room. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. If you have any questions, go ahead and like the I.S.U.P.K Houston page. Go ahead and follow it. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. All right. So we back in it after we dealt with this heathenistic lack of independence holiday for Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, because we still in the land of the cowards, the homes of the slaves. You understand? And we back in it. Going into Genesis 27, we're actually going to pick up at the end of 26 where we left off, but that will lead us right into 27, continuing with the Genesis history breakdown of the entire book of Genesis on our journey, right? So we left off right where Isaac, he left from amongst the Canaanites. You understand? From amongst Abimelech, he went and dwelt in the valley of Gerar. And in doing so, he went on ahead, he started digging wells, because just like anything else, when you establish a land, you have to have first two things, right? You got to have a source of food, you got to have a source of water, right? So every time that his servants went out to go dig a well, the Canaanites that lived in the land, they either strove with them against it, which is they was boxing over the well, or they would throw dirt in it, right? Because when he first came into the land, all the wells that his father had made before they moved into the land where they were, all of them, because of the jealousy of Isaac and how much wealth that he amassed, they threw earth in all of the wells that his father dug. So he had to dig new wells, right? So he ended up digging like 3 different wells. They ended up having to fight over before the Lord made a place for him, right? And that's where we are in the story, okay? We have a question online. It says, please, this is from, let me pull it up on the screen before I go into the lesson. It says, please explain, is Jesus the Son of Man or God's Son? Okay. All right. So Jesus is the Son of Man, and he's also the Son of God. All right. Sapar, how is Jesus the Son of Man and he's the Son of God? Oh, you ain't turned the you ain't hit the button? No, it's all good. I'll let you give a shot at it, and then I'll jump in. Go ahead.
So like I said, Christ is the Son of God because he was the first one that was made in creation, and the Son of Man, he is a Israelite from the Trojan nation.
Right. Okay. So the precept that you want for your first answer is John 1:1. Go to that real quick. We'll break that down to find out what that's dealing with. Go to John 1:1. And then as far as the Son of Man, the Son of Man is the same. Like every Israelite is a son of man. The Son of Man is a saying that is being kept amongst the children of Israel all the way from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It goes all the way back to the Old Testament. That is, if you will, like a slang amongst us, like how we say bro, brother, B, hermano, so on and so forth, right? So that is something that is strictly culturally amongst ourselves. But to give you the example that that Jesus is the Son of God, go ahead and read John 1:1.
It's the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God,
Mm-hmm.
and the Word was God.
All right. So in the beginning, all right, the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So how can the Word be with God and was God at the same time? Anybody? Anybody got a inclination how the Word can be with God and was God at the same time?
So like I said, could this be a precept on the reputation of the Most High?
No. Right. Let's make it more practical. Okay. So that's gonna kind of get. I'll just say it. Right. So when it says in the beginning, the Word was with God and the Word was God. So let's just say, for instance, Sapar, I'm your father, you're my son. Right. So uh in years of you coming up in your adolescence, like we gonna be attached together at the hip, right? So let's say that you got younger siblings. Let's say Monica is your little sister, right? And I go off to work on a Saturday, but I got chores and duties that need to get done in the house. All right. I'm gonna tell you everything that need to get done. I want it done by the time I get home, right? So what does that mean for you?
That means to follow the instructions and orders of your father.
Right. But to everybody else is in the house, like your sister Monica and your other siblings, what do you do?
What did you
What do you do?
what do I do? I'm the example. And
Are you the example, or do you dish out the chores? Because many hands make the work light.
right, so that they'll be like you will get the word from the source, and you will mediate all of the different responsibilities to the ones that are under you.
Right. So basically, your word amongst your siblings is as your father's because you're the oldest, right? So when it says in the beginning, the word was with God and the word was God. So understand this is the Alahayim, right? Alahayim, or in Yiddish, the Elohim, right? It's talking about the heavenly host, right? So in the heavenly host, you got the Most High, you got Christ sitting on the right hand side. Then you got the four angels, you understand, with the four faces around the throne room of the Most High. I mean, around the throne of the Most High, kind of like pit bulls, if you will. Then you got below them, you got the 24 elders, right? And then below the 24 elders, you got the archangels. Then below the archangels, you got the cherubim and the seraphim, right? This makes up the heavenly host. It's rank and order in heaven. That's why in the Lord's Prayer, you say, as on earth as it is in heaven, right? So Christ was the head of his father's house, right? So you got the Most High. Think of the Most High as the architect, right? And Christ as the general contractor. So the architect makes the designs of all the plans of everything that needs to be constructed. The general contractor is the one that wins the bid, and he hires all the subcontractors to get the work done. So you got a master plumber, right? You got a framer, you got bricklayers, you got window setters. You understand? You got you got what else you got? You got people that lay the insulation. You understand? And then you got people that lay the storm and wastewater on the outside, right? So you got all these people that got different jobs. You got painters. You understand? All these people that got different jobs, but all of them answer to one, right? That one person they answer to is a general contractor, and the general contractor answers to the architect. You understand? So, and we're about to find that out in this scripture. Keep reading.
This book of John, chapter 1 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him.
All things were what?
All things were made by him.
Remember the example that I gave by the general contractor. Now, the architect designs everything, right? But it's a general contractor that gets the actual construction done. Everything that the architect designed is created through the general contractor, who is the head over the construction job. So through Christ, everything was made, right? So when the Most High said, "Let there be light," Christ's like, "All right, fellas, let's get some light up in here." You know what I'm saying? The cherub and the seraphim, they getting there, amalgamating this thing, putting balls of gas and different elements together. Hey, Christ, we got some light. Hey, Pop, we got some light. All right, it looked good. You know what I'm saying? That's how I went. Because every time he said, "And let there be light," the light was created, and then what he say? All right, it's good. It looked good, fellas. All right, let's go on to the next thing. All right, keep reading.
All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made.
So there was not nothing in creation that was made without Christ. All right. So that lets you know that, well, it's gonna get into it. Keep reading.
In him was life,
Mm-hmm.
and the life was the light of men.
Mm-hmm.
And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not.
Keep reading.
There was a man sent from God, whose name was John.
Mm-hmm.
The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might be saved.
All right. So this light, right, which was the same that was in creation, through him all men would be able to be saved, because through him all things were created. Nothing can exist without his say so, right? So he holds not only the title as our king, right? But the reason why he holds the title as our king is because he has the title of the Son of God, because he is the first in creation, right? He is the first of the heavenly host. He is the first of his name. You understand? Like Israel in Hebrew is Yasha'Allah, right? All right. Yah is he, Shar is prince, Allah is power, which means he prince of power, right? Christ is the first son of the power, right? So you have Christ, you have the angels that's around the throne, the ones with the four faces that's described. I believe it's in Ezekiel. You got the 24 elders, the archangels, the cherubim and the seraphim that go up and down Jacob's ladder. All right, keep reading.
He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light.
Mm-hmm.
That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world.
Keep reading.
Verse 10. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not.
Here we go, verse 12.
But as many received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God.
To do what?
The power to become the sons of God.
How can he give you power to be the sons of God if he is not the Son of God? You understand? No, and Christ himself told the disciples that he himself cannot do anything that the Father does not allow him to do, right? And then, hold on, give me what is it? I think it's please give me Matthew 3:17.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 3, and verse 17. And lo,
Well, actually started John the Baptist started so you can know what's going on. Started verse 13. And this is when the heavenly host says it themselves.
this is the book of Matthew, chapter 3, and verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Then cometh Yahushua from Galilee to Jordan unto John, to be baptized of him.
To do what?
To be baptized of him.
So this is Christ coming to his cousin John to be baptized. Keep reading.
But John forbade him, saying, I have need to be baptized of thee, and thou comest to me?
He was like, Negro, what you doing? You know you that nigga. Like, what you coming to me to get baptized? You the chosen one. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 15. And Yahushua answered him, said unto him, suffer it to be so now, for thus becometh us to fulfill all righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
Then he suffered him.
You understand? Because it was written that this had to happen. Keep reading.
And Yahushua, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water, and lo, the heavens opened up unto him, and he saw the Spirit of God descended like a dove.
Descending as a dove.
Descending like a dove.
You understand? So it means they saw the heavens open up and they saw the Spirit of the Most High God, you understand, come down upon him like a dove. You understand? See, like a lot of people, they be like, see, you know, that's why the dove is God's bird, because the dove is the Spirit of the Lord. And when Christ was baptized, a dove came and sat on his shoulder. You understand? But that's not what the scripture says. It says the Spirit of the Lord descended like a dove. Right? Keep reading.
And lightning upon him.
You understand what I'm saying, bro?
So he was like Bruce Leroy when he finally had the glove on him.
You know what I'm saying? that boy started powering up like Goku. You feel me? Go ahead.
Like, let me read that one more time.
Go ahead, brother.
That the Spirit of God descended like a dove, and lightning upon him. Verse 17. And lo, a voice from heaven.
A voice from where?
A voice from heaven.
From the earth.
From heaven.
Amongst the people in the crowd.
From heaven.
Uh-huh.
Saying, this is my beloved son.
This is who?
This is my beloved son.
This is some nigga out the crowd.
This is my beloved son.
I don't know this nigga.
My beloved son.
Who child is this?
My beloved son.
Uh-huh.
In whom I am well pleased.
There you have it. Christ is the Son of the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? This is the voice of the Lord. This is one of the voices of the Lord himself, right? So I mean, so basically the heavens opened up, right? I mean, and it came out of the horse's mouth, and everybody heard it. This is whom my son, whom I am well pleased, which baffles me, because later on in Christ's lifetime, John the Baptist sends his disciples while he was in prison to Christ and say, are you the one that is the Messiah, or shall we wait on another? Nigga, you baptized me yourself. You saw lightning strike. You saw me having the Bruce Leroy glow, and you heard a voice from heaven yourself saying, this is my son in whom I am well pleased. But yet you still doubt it. You understand? But Katrina, I hope that that answered your question. If you have another question, go ahead and type it in the chat. If you on Clubhouse, if you have any questions, type it in the chat. Let's see. Your thumb said Salakia because there's an agreement. I don't know what that's a reference to. Type it in the chat, brother, and I'll come back to it. All right. So let's get back to it. It's Genesis 26. We at the end game going into 27. So we're gonna start right at Genesis 26 and 26. This is right after Isaac is extremely frustrated. He done finally carved out a well for himself, his servants, and his family. You know, he been fighting. He been fighting with these niggas on the block. You know what I'm saying? Every day he go to work, you know, to provide for his household. He got to claw tooth and nail with these niggas in the street. You know what I'm saying? And the ops at every single turn that he tried to make a move was giving him opposition. All right. And this is where we are. Genesis 26 and 26.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 26 and verse 26. Then Abimelech went to him from Gerar, and I.S.U.P.K, one of his friends, and Pikhohar, the chief captain of his army.
Go ahead.
And Isaac said unto them, wherefore come ye to me, seeing ye hate me, and have sent me away from
he was like, nigga, what the hell you want from me? Didn't you just kick me out your city? Like, why is you here? And then not only here, you rolling up, you understand, with your chief of police. You understand? Why is you at my house? Like, what you want? Like, do you hate me that much? Your servants out here stomping up and filling up my wells. I got a box with these dudes every day out here in these streets just to provide away from me. After you talk, I went to a place away from your city that nobody desired. I am dwelling in a valley. You know what I'm saying? And your people still want to fight with me with this. Now you coming to take this valley away from me too? You must hate me. Go ahead, Sapar.
And it's like this, sir. Like this story sounds like really similar to stories you heard like Black Wall Street and Rosewood and and all these. This is the predecessor to that type of spirit against the chosen people at the Most High.
Brother, it's the exact same spirit. Like they use something small, right, to take everything away from you. And that small thing that ignited all of this was when Isaac was like, she's my sister. Right? And Abimelech was like, nigga, I've been watching y'all from the balcony, bro. That is not your sister. That's your wife. You understand? And the spotlight was on him from that moment on. Because Abimelech put a target on his back and said, if any man attempt to touch or sleep with this man's wife, they're going to be put to death. Right? And then it says immediately after that, and Isaac grew exceedingly wealthy in the land. So much so that Abimelech told him that you have to move away from us. Because he was already the son of a mighty prince in the land, according to Abimelech and the Canaanites. Abraham was known in these streets, and he added even exceedingly more wealth, more livestock, more maid servants, more man servants, to where his household looked like a small country. You understand? I'm talking about wherever he moved, it's at least, I mean, hell. I'm just gonna go on the grand spectrum. I mean, it's at least 100 of them. Like, and we not even in, and I'm just counting like, because he took what? He took with him, Abraham took 30 choice men with him to go to battle, to go save his kidnapped nephew Lot. So that's 30 choice men that were trained outside of the men and the women that were still at the household to still run the household while they were gone. So if he had 30 men that were trained, so I mean they were security, that was their job, to go with him to go get his nephew, that means he had even more to stay behind to run the household and to keep everything going. That was when his daddy was running things.
So that means Abraham had all the food and he had a personal paramilitary group.
Right, you understand? So it makes even more sense when the famine hit, why it was at the prefaces of Isaac's mind, because not only is he got to worry about feeding his household, he has to feed every household of every servant that serves in his household. Not only the men, the women, and the children, because they all lived in his compound. So imagine, you know how you when you let's give for example what's one of my favorite movies? Gladiator, right? So in the movie Gladiator, right? When they were out there going to war before he got kidnapped, and I mean not kidnapped, before he got captured and sent into slavery, right? Their camp, it was a compound. So you had the infantry troops, they had their own set of tents, right? The officers, they had their set of tents. The captains had their set of tents. And then the general, right, or the emperor, he had his tent in the middle of camp, and it was the whole camp was surrounding him like a bullseye. So you had to go through the troopers, the officers, the captains. You had to fight through all of them to get to the center of the camp where the general or the emperor was, right? Think of like that. That's how Isaac and Abraham's compound was. Like, Abraham's land was so vast that when Eleazar went to go ascertain a wife for Isaac, Isaac was on the edge of his father's land in his own house. It said he was at the edge of the land, and when she came, she was like, "Who is that over there?" "Oh, that's my Lord." You know what I'm saying? That boy Eleazar said, "That's my Lord over there." She was like, "Well, let me fix myself." You know what I'm saying? That lets you know how vast the land that they occupied, right? So here come Abimelech, and Isaac is like, "Nigga, what you want, bro? I done went out here in the valley of the shadow of death. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel no evil because I didn't have to fight tooth and nail for this little corner in the valley for myself, for my people, my sons, my wife, and my servants. What do you want?" Keep reading.
Verse 28. And they said, "We saw certainly that the Lord was with thee."
Mm-hmm.
And we said, "Let there be now an oath betwixt us, even betwixt us and thee, and let us make a covenant with thee."
Now, the Lord will always be with the righteous, right? All you got to do is make sure you're doing the right thing and following the Lord's instruction. What was the Lord's instruction to Isaac? His instructions was not to go down to Egypt, to dwell in this land that I have told you, and I will be with you. The Lord proved that because in this land, he became even greater than his predecessor, his father, right? And then even when he removed him, Abimelech removed him out of the land, the Lord still made a place for him. Okay. Now, Abimelech is literally doing the exact same thing. Now, Abimelech, all right, this is a different Abimelech. Like, so Abimelech is like, it's like Ptolemy. So you got like Ptolemy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like Cleopatra. You got Cleopatra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. So this is an Abimelech that is ascendant from the Abimelech that dwelt, that had to deal with Abraham. Okay. So let's see what the Abimelech that dwelt with Abraham, what he did. Go to Genesis 21 and 22. Read that for me.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 21 and verse 22.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass at that time that Abimelech and Picahol, the chief captain of the host, spake unto Abraham, saying, "God is with thee in all that thou doest."
It almost sounds like he's saying word for word what he's saying to his son Isaac, huh? Keep reading.
Verse 23. Now therefore swear unto me here by God that thou wilt not deal falsely with me.
Right. So now go back to 26. So in 26 and 3, what did the Lord say?
Book of Genesis, chapter 26 and verse 3. Sojourn in this land.
Sojourn where?
Sojourn in this land.
Now where you want to go ahead.
And I will be with thee.
You understand? So a lot of times where the Lord will lead you, it might not necessarily be where you want to be. It might be uncomfortable. You understand? It might be a volatile, unorganized situation around you. It might be chaotic. You understand? But the Lord, you got to understand, the Lord does things so that he may get the glory, right? It's not for you to just be in the lap of luxury and at peace. Anything that the Lord does for you, it's not for you, it's for somebody else. The Lord blesses you to bless others. All right? Keep reading.
And I'm gonna come. and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed.
Right? So the Lord saying the same thing that he said to his father, that he's going to bless him and the seed after him as long as you follow me, right? Now give me Psalms 130:7, all right? Because the one thing that you have to understand is, like, when things go wrong in our life, we always be looking externally for mercy. We always be looking externally for grace. We go to everybody and our mama for grace and for mercy and for help before we go on our knees or on our face to the Lord. One thing that I always talk about in here is do not forsake the power of prayer. The scripture says to ask, seek, and knock. You understand? Ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and the door shall be opened unto you. Don't open the door out. Go ahead, keep reading.
And I will come to the book of Psalms, chapter 30 and verse 7. Let Israel hope in the Lord.
Let what?
Let Israel hope in the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
For with the Lord there is mercy.
With the Lord there is who?
For with the Lord there is mercy.
The only hope that you have is in the Lord, right? But most people think that your hope comes without action, that you can literally just sit here and not do anything. That's not what the scripture says. The scripture says to ask, seek, and knock, right? If you're not willing to go out of your way and to seek, or go out of your way and ask for help, right? If you're not seeking for help, right? If you're not knocking on doors so that they may open unto you, how can the Lord help you? So you just expect the Lord to just come and knock on your door and be like, Sapar, it is I, the Lord. What do you need? It don't work like that. You have to actively and proactively be seeking out what you need. Don't be like that ungrateful bastard of a servant that buried his talent in the ground. Because, like, if you at least invest what the Lord gives you, you at least gain interest on that one thing. But if you're just sitting here idly doing nothing, your return is going to be nothing. All right? Go ahead, brother.
So what is a good way to invest on the talent that the Most High gave you?
Say that one more time.
What is a good way to invest on the talent that the Most High gave you? Like in your store, instead of varying the talent, like what can one do now in these days?
Well, I'm gonna say exactly what the Lord said. Invest. Right? So, question that most people ask, well, how can I invest and I don't got no money? Well, you know what you can invest? Time. If you don't have money, you know what you do have? Time. Right? Because in this world, when you don't have anything to invest to get money or to get a return, what are you able to invest to get money? Time. Right? When you're on the slave, when you're at your job, how do you get money? You invest time. Right? So the time when you're off from work, give it to the Lord. The time when you just at home, as General Hyman says, twiddling your thumb on the PlayStation, on the Xbox One, give some of that time to the Lord. I mean, because some of y'all are expert gamers. I mean, y'all need to be on YouTube making some of this millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to spend all of this time on the game, you need to be, what is it, Roblox? You know what I'm saying? Fortnite? You need to create you a page so you can make you some millions of dollars. You understand? But if you're investing time in something and not getting a return, You're wasting your time. Like, if like you spend all this time and effort on the game, you understand, but you don't get nothing in return. Officer One Yala on Facebook, what you say, y'all? He say the old saying is time is money. That's exactly what it is. You know, people be talking about, well, I don't have a job. Well, have you applied? It's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. How many applications have you been put in? Well, I don't got no car. Well, the bus line start running at 6 in the morning. Like, what are you doing with your time? That awesome colloquialism of one y'all at the water. Yeah, that's Officer 5,001 y'all at the water, brother. You understand? Time is money. So if you don't have finances to invest, because the scripture does say where your treasure is, so that is where your heart lies, right? If you don't have any treasure, your time is your treasure, because everybody would rather be at home chilling in the confines, in the peacefulness of their own house. I know I would. You know what I'm saying? You think I want to be going in and out of these Edomites' house? You know what I'm saying? Installing this fiber optic cable and this coax? No, I'd rather be at home getting on my wife's nerves. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'd rather do. You understand? Sip me some of my family wine and relax. That's what I want to do. But I can't do that, right? Because scripture says, if you don't work, you don't eat. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, right, working at a job, right? Because remember, when Christ sent out the apostles, he said, take nothing with you. He said, don't take no purse. Don't take no coat. You understand? Don't even take sandals on your feet. And go and knock on the doors. Go not into the Samaritans, into the ways of the Gentiles, but go into the lost sheep of the house of the Lord. When you go into the house, salute them with peace. If they don't receive you, kick the dust off of your feet. Because the Lord was teaching them how to move by faith. Because when you're truly doing the work of the Lord will provide. It's been so many times when I didn't forgot to pack my lunch or didn't have money for lunch, right? And I go out here to work and I go to some random company. Man, you done such an awesome job. It's $20 lunch on me. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm up in the attic. They be like, man, you like Chick-fil-A? I was like, man, I love Chick-fil-A. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I come down. They didn't had a Chick-fil-A. I didn't even know Chick-fil-A did deliveries for regular meals. They didn't had, I guess you got to have a certain type of account. I mean, I got the app, but I ain't never had to where a Chick-fil-A move truck pulled up to their house, you understand, and delivered some Chick-fil-A. It was one meal for me. You understand? Go ahead, brother.
So like it, so that surely wasn't on the southeast side of town.
You know what I'm saying? He sure wasn't on the south, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. I was over in Bel Air. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely not in the southeast side. You understand? All right. So, but that's what you gotta have faith. Just like it says in Psalms 130, Israel's hope is in the Lord. Right? We put our hope in our 401k. We put our hope, you understand, in our promotions, in making partner. You understand? We put our hope in our finances, in the properties that we ascertain. But just like in Job, in a day, all that can be taken away. You understand? In one day, Job was over there praying, making sacrifice unto the Lord for the family. Satan came through with a strong wind, collapsed the house, killed all his kids. You know what I'm saying? Came through, wiped out all of his flocks. So in one day, you can lose everything. You can have 5 properties. You know what I'm saying? You can have livestock. And in something like, and if you live like, say, you stayed in Channelview, North Shore, Hurricane Harvey come through, all your properties on the north side, all 5 of them get flooded out, and you owe mortgages on all of them, and you can't have no tenants in there right now. So everything is wiped out. It's going to take you at least 90 days to get a check from the insurance, but you still owe every month on that mortgage. What you going to do? You understand? Your hope is in the Lord. Only the Lord can move a process for you. When that deck is stacked against you, only the Lord can knock it down when you don't have the strength to push against the wall. Only the Lord can do that. You understand? Matter of fact, go to Psalms 23. You know what I'm saying? That's our grandparents' favorite scripture, the 23rd Psalm. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and read that for me.
The book of Psalms, chapter 23 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures.
Now, this is such a heavy scripture. The first part of that, he said, the Lord is my what?
The Lord is my shepherd.
Keep reading.
I shall not want.
You understand? He said, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Right? Now, when the Lord came to Isaac, he said, if you follow me, you understand, I will make you exceedingly great. You and your seed after thee. But you have to follow after the shepherd. Now, I'm going to tell you something about a shepherd, right? A shepherd guides the flock. He has this thing that's called a shepherd staff. It's a staff with a hook and a crook at the end of it. You understand? Now, when you get out of line with the herd, that shepherd, he gonna throw that hook and that crook on you. He gonna yank you back. Now, it ain't gonna feel good when you get that yoke around your neck. You understand? But you didn't know it was a pit right there. You didn't know that he been watching wolves track us for 2 miles. You understand? Trying to kill you and steal from the flock. You understand? You didn't know, you understand, that we was moving towards a cliff, and even though the herd moved to the right, he was like, no, I'm gonna keep moving forward. He was like, no, bring your behind back. You understand? The Lord is your shepherd, so you shall not want. Keep reading.
He maketh me lie down in green pastures.
You understand? He makes sure that everywhere that you eat is plush and green. You understand? You know what that means? Okay, if you get fired, and like a lot of people get hung up, well, the Lord is with me, why I get fired from a job? Because 9 times out of 10, if you didn't get fired from that job, you wouldn't be in a position for the Lord to give you what he had for you. The Lord then gave you signs for 3 to 6 months to do this. You didn't have dreams. I need to do this. You know what I'm saying? You didn't saw commercials on TV to do this. You didn't heard an advertisement on the radio to do this. You know, you didn't talk to one of your homeboys on the phone. He'd be like, hey, bro, you ever thought about doing this? You know what I'm saying? But you still stuck on doing this because it gives you comfort and shelter. But the Lord is trying to move you from one green pasture to another one. All you looking at is your face down, looking at the grass. You don't see the green pasture turning from green to yellow. But the shepherd does. He's like, okay, it's time to move on. But you steady trying to eat where you at, and he's trying to move you to the next green pasture. This is a situation with Isaac and Abimelech. Isaac was so hung up chilling amongst the Canaanites, but the Lord was like, nigga, I'm just telling you to be here so you can survive the famine. You understand? The famine's coming to an end, so I need you to move on. So if you don't want to move on your own, I'm going to use Abimelech to kick you out. Keep reading.
He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul.
You understand? But a lot of times we so used to chaotic waters. We so used to beef, turmoil, gossip. You understand? When I'm gonna tell you, like when I came into the truth, because I went through so much stuff coming into the truth, I lost so much stuff. You understand? So many people turn their back on me. I would get afraid when it would get calm and peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so used to chaos and operating in chaos. When it would get peaceful, I would be on guard because I'm looking for the sucker punch coming from somewhere. I was like, I know Satan, I know you circling somewhere around this wagon. You got me messed up if you think you gonna catch me slipping, right? But no, when you are doing the will of the Lord, like it said in Psalms 130:7, it says, Israel's hope is in the Lord. When your hope is in the Lord, his job is to bring you by still waters, because in Psalms 1, it says you're going to be like a tree planted by the rivers of the water to bring forth your fruit in your due season. So the Lord is trying to move you through the seasons amicably with minimal damage. But you have to allow him to be your shepherd, so you will not have a want. Now, does that mean that you're going to be balling out of control? Not necessarily. Because to have no want, it means you didn't eat today. I mean, it means that you ate today. It means that you got clothes on your back. That you got a means of transportation to get to and from work. You understand? You able to provide and take care of your family. You got a way to protect your family. You got shelter. You understand? These are the minimal things, because like it says in Ecclesiastes, all is vanity. At the end of the day, all a man has for his work is food and strong drink. Because you save up all of this money to go on vacation to do what? Eat food and have strong drink. You know what I'm saying? You go all the way to Bali to have food and strong drink. You go to Cancun to do what? Have food and strong drink. You understand? That is all you have for the work of your day. So it don't matter if you in your apartment or if you in Bora Bora. All you have for your day is food and strong drink. You understand? Like Luther Vandross said it best. You know what I'm saying? A chair is not a chair unless someone is sitting there. Like you can have a 10-bedroom house, you understand, 5-bath, 15-car garage, pool in the back, but ain't nobody, only a person can be at the pool and enjoy the pool if they're at the pool. You can only enjoy one car at a time. You understand? You can only sleep and be in one room at a time. You can only sit in one chair at a time. But the Lord would rather you be content. He's moving you from one pasture to another. And what's crazy is the bigger you are, the harder it is for you to be mobile. This is why these celebrities, these entertainers, these millionaires, these billionaires, that's why they commit suicide, because they have too many things, and these things have taken their heart away from God, because they feel as if they lose these things, they lose the entire world. But the Lord, if you was smooth, you understand, and you was light and agile, when something come, you can pick up and move. But if you got this mansion here, you got this vacation property in Jamaica, you got 3 rental properties here, 4 rental properties here, it's harder for you to just pick up and leave. This is the issue that Isaac is going through. This is the turmoil that he's going through. He amassed more wealth than his father ever had to add on to his inheritance to give to his son, which is a righteous thing. That's what you're supposed to do, right? But at the end of the day, when he got kicked out of Abimelech's land, he had to work it out and figure it out, because his hope was in the Lord. Keep reading.
He leaded me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
For his what?
For his name's sake.
For his what?
For his name's sake.
he gave his name to you. He didn't give it to nobody else, right? But you want to give your namesake to the Arabs in Islam. You want to give your namesake to the East Indians in Hinduism. You want to give your namesake to the Asia Major in Buddhism. You want to give your namesake to the heathens, your enemies in Catholicism, Judaism, and Christianity. You want to give your namesake to the Africans following voodoo, hoodoo, Ifa, and Santeria. You want to give your namesake to everybody else, but to yourself, whom the Lord himself gave it to. He gave his name unto you. That's what Israel means in Hebrew, Yasha'Allah. It means Prince of the Power. Keep reading.
Verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
This is where Isaac is right now. Isaac had to leave the green pasture of the Canaanite kingdom where Abimelech was ruler, and he went and dwelt in the valley of Gerar. You understand? And he had to fight every day over a well. Him and his servants, they had to go to war for every hole that they dug for fresh water. He was literally in the valley of the shadow of death. Keep reading.
I will fear no evil.
He didn't fear any evil. You want to know why? He fought. You understand? They tried to overtake me. He's like, you know what? Boom, I'm going to go dig another one. You understand? He dug another one. They came. They fought. You know what? I ain't going to trip. Boom, he went and dug another one. You understand? Because he didn't fear evil. Because it didn't say that Isaac and his servants ran away. He said that he strove with the Canaanites. Every time they came, they threw hands. Now, you got me messed up. You understand? But like after a while, when they was fighting, he's like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. We just gonna go dig another one. You understand? Just like my father did. Keep reading.
For thou art with me.
You understand? Because the Lord told Isaac that he was with him. You understand? When the Lord is with you, it don't matter if they take your job from you. Guess what? That wasn't the last job that was invented. You can get another one. When they take their car from you, guess what? You can get another one. You understand? When they evict you from your apartment, guess what? You can get another one. You understand? When you lose your house and go into foreclosure, guess what? You can get another one. When your credit gets bad, guess what? You can get some more credit. You understand? It's not the end all be all. As long as you have breath and life in your body, you have a chance. Keep reading.
And because thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
You understand? Like I gave the example earlier, right? When a sheep gets hooked, it don't feel good. You understand? Like when you get nudged in your ribs, hey, move this way. It don't feel good. But it's a comfort in not getting eaten by wolves. It's a comfort in not falling into a pit to your death. It's a comfort when you wake up the next day and you realize, even though he been poking and prodding me this whole trip, this is the greenest pasture we done ate at this year. It don't feel good. Now, let me make that practical to you, right? It don't feel good to save money because your natural inclination is to spend it. You understand? Like you like me and my wife, we would love tequila. You know what I'm saying? But some weeks we got to forego tequila so we can stay on our savings plan because we want to get a house. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to forego the things that feel good to move to a greener pasture because the pasture that you're at is currently drying up. It don't feel good to lose weight. It don't. It's painful. You got to eat green stuff that you don't like, that don't taste good. You understand? You don't want to do it. You want to eat the stuff that's chemically modified, genetically modified for your taste buds. You understand? That's what you want to eat. You want to eat bonbons, Twinkies, Nutter Butters, zebra cakes. You understand? You want to eat your Kool-Aid pickles. You understand? You go ahead, brother. Go ahead. What you got?
Devil cakes.
You eat the devil cake. You want to eat all of it. You want to eat all the stuff that has been genetically and chemically modified and cooked up to satisfy every taste bud. But guess what you get from them? Cavities. Guess what you get from them? Diabetes. Guess what you get from them? High blood pressure. Guess what you get from them? Hypertension, clogged arteries. You understand? But all the things that are good for you, 9 times out of 10 are what? Bitter to the taste. You understand? You ever had raw kale? It don't taste good. It is bitter to the taste. Bitter is a bitter herb, brother. You know what I'm saying? You ever had collard greens without the seasoning on it? It don't taste good. It's bitter to the taste. You understand? You ever had seaweed, brother? It don't taste good. It is bitter to the taste. Chlorophyll. You know what I'm saying? Cucumbers. You know what I'm saying? Everything that is good for you, it is bitter to the taste. You understand? But you have to do it. That is the rod and the staff that comforts you. You have to dare to be different. You have to dare to do something that no one is willing to do to get the results that no one can get. If you're doing the same thing that everyone does, you're not going to be different from everyone. You know what I'm saying? If you want to hang out on the block with your homies, you're going to be just like the homies that hung on the block before them homies. You're going to die or you're going to end up in jail. Or you're going to be one of these crackheads out here on the corner talking to yourself, talking about dum-dum-de. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to be singing to yourself all day, every day. You're going to be talking to some shadowy figure yelling in the middle of the street like you talking to somebody looking crazy. Because you chose to do the things that were easy, that felt good, instead of listening to your parents that chastise you. No, you're not going outside. You're going to finish your homework. No, you're not going to go play with such and such up the street. I don't like his parents. I don't like his family. I don't like what they stand for or represent. You're going to go hang out with Brian. Well, I don't like Brian. You know what I'm saying? I want to go hang out with Byron. You know what I'm saying? But Byron's parents come from the same type of household that your parents come from. This is the rod and staff that comforts you in the valley of the shadow of death so that you don't fear any evil. Because your parents, the scripture says, train up a child in the way he should go so when he's older, he will not depart from it. You understand? So you know the pitfalls that you should hang out with this type of person. You know what I'm saying? That you shouldn't go to this type of place, that you should be home at this time, what it takes to be successful. You know what's crazy? The same thing that it takes to be successful in today's society as an adult is the same thing it took to be successful to make an A on your report card. Putting the time in and sacrificing the things that feel good. But nobody wants to do it. Everybody wants to go turn up every weekend. Everybody wants to have endless mimosas for brunch every weekend. But you can't. The scripture says it is better to be in a house of mourning because at least there you'll learn something. Keep reading.
Verse 5. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies.
All you got to do is stay down. And when you stay down, everybody will count you out. And guess what? When everybody counts you out, you know what they're going to say when it happens? How? How? Why is he so happy? Why is she so happy? How does she get to do this? How does he get to do that? I put in the report myself. I reported his post on Facebook. Why is he not in Facebook jail? You know what I'm saying? I snitched on him to our supervisor. How did he get a bonus? How did he get a raise? How did she get promoted? How did she get to move to another department? because the Lord said that he will make a table for you in front of your enemies. And this is where we are with Isaac, that Abimelech, his chief captain, and his best friend got to come out of the land that they kicked Isaac out of to seek him out because they know the Lord is with him. Like, Isaac left them and went and chose to dwell in the hood, in the valley. Because everybody know when you in the hood, every time you move, you got to look over your shoulder. When you at the gas station, you got to be watching your surroundings. Every time Isaac went out to dig a well, he had to throw hands, him and his servants. Every time. And so much so, those wells that those servants took, I mean, that the Canaanites took, they was like, man, bro, these wells is just overflowing, gushing water. Every time he dig a well, he strike gold. We done took 3 wells from this nigga. So best believe they sending a report back to Abimelech, they king. So much so, they was like, how the hell this nigga striking gold, finding all of these wells of these underground aquifers in the valley? It's just like when the Pharisees and Sadducees said, is this not Jesus, the son of Joseph and Mary from Nazareth? Does any good thing come out of Nazareth? Can anybody find, let alone 1 fresh well of water in the valley? This is what Isaac is going through. Psalms 23 is about Isaac. It's not just about Isaac, it's about you, because if Isaac can do it, you can do it. Keep reading.
Son of a Khan, thou anointest my head with oil.
You understand? Like Isaac, when they came, because they thought Isaac was gonna be down bad. Abimelech, his chief captain, you know what I'm saying, his best friend, and rode up on Abimelech. I was like, where you been, boy? What you want? You understand? You already kicked me out. You understand? Like, I thought you hated your boy. Why are you seeking me out? I'm out here in the valley, in the hood. You understand? And everybody know the niggas in the hood that's doing good because they rolling down in slabs. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, that's such and such car right there. You know what I'm saying? That's such and such bike right there. You know what I'm saying? Like your house, you stay in the projects, but for some reason, your house stand out on the block. Everybody else's house, you know, got foil on the windows. You know what I'm saying? The blinds look like they throwing up gang signs. The yard's uncut and kept. But yours look like something that should be in Hunter's Glen 4. You feel me? Go ahead. What you got, support?
Right. Because, you know, some of the people like say, if it's a black guy in an expensive white car and got all white on, he must be doing good for us.
You understand what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, prime example, like right now, it don't matter if you stay on the southeast, you know what I'm saying? You stay in the southwest, dead end, you understand? If you stay on the north side, if you see a brother rolling in an old school car, that whole canted out, and I ain't just talking about, you know, like something in the 90s or something in the 80s. I'm talking about you see somebody rolling in a 64, a 65, you know what I'm saying, a 70. No matter if it's a Thunderbird, Cadillac DeVille, 64 Chevy Impala, you know what I'm saying? And that thing slabbed out, you know what I'm saying, with the matching interior, that nigga doing well for himself. You understand? Because you know for sure, not only with the car itself, but the amount of money that it went in with the reupholstering and all the custom, he done put 40 to 50 grand into the car. So if he able to put 40 or 50 grand into the car, he must be doing all right. That's why we do it. The same reason why when you went to church on Sunday, you see people in the parking lot with a new car, but they'll keep the car information on the window from the dealership. That is the most ignorant thing I've never seen. You know what I'm saying? They you know, because you know when you go to dealership, they go and clean your car. But like, no, don't take the price information off the window. I want to roll up to the church house so they can see what I'm rolling in and how much it costs. But we didn't all seen it. You understand? But keep reading.
gonna come. Thou anointest my head with oil.
Mm-hmm.
My cup runneth over.
You understand? Isaac is in the hood and his cup is running over. This man done dug 4 wells and they all geysers. You feel me? He done made a table everywhere that he done went. He done went to one green pasture, they fought for it. He went to another green pasture, they fought for it. He went to another green pasture, they fought for it. He went to another one and it was like, okay, they done finally installed me out. The Lord had made a place for me. I'm going to name it the Lord that made a place for me. Keep reading.
Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life.
Because that's what the Lord said in Psalms 130:7. The hope of Israel is in the Lord because only he can extend mercy. And that mercy will follow you all the days of your life. All you got to do is make straight A's. You're like, well, that's impossible. No, it's not. You want to know how it's not impossible? The same way people have survived cancer, by doing the right thing. You understand? The same way people that that got contracted with AIDS. I mean, Magic Johnson, I swear he don't got it. But he got AIDS in the 80s. He's still here. So many people that didn't got it when he done got it, they dead and gone. You know what I'm saying? So when the Lord has mercy upon you because you're doing the right thing, it'll follow you all the days of your life. But so often we have to find ourselves in the valley of the shadow of death to call on the name of the Lord. And you know what he's gonna tell you? To do what he told you to do when you was a little kid. I need straight A's on that report card. You've been settling for C's and D's your entire life, but your daddy done told you, if you get straight A's, I got a brand new car for you. But you want to do the mediocre thing because you don't want to sacrifice. Nothing good comes from anything that is easy in life. You have to be willing to do the hard, difficult thing. Because to be a king, to be a prince of the power, to be a daughter of Zion, you have to do the difficult thing that is not easy. You have to walk the road less traveled. You can't be on the highway. You can't be on 288. You can't be on I-10. You got to be on these farm market roads. You understand? And you got to be on these back end streets. See, you want to take the tollway, but the Lord knows that the pillars on the tollway are about to give out. So he's sending you an alternate route so you don't got to deal with the destruction or the accidents that are coming. But you rather sit in traffic because you know this is the quickest and easiest route. You didn't waste it. It take you 30 minutes to get home. You done sat in traffic for 2 hours. Like you left from work. You put in, I use Google Maps. I can't stand Apple Maps. You know what I'm saying? Because Apple Maps, it be sending you on some crazy routes. Google Maps give you real time, right? You put in Google Maps, you know what I'm saying, home, right? You know the normal route that you take home. But Google Maps was like, normally you get on, like me, I take 610, you know what I'm saying, to the house. You know what I'm saying? Take Braeswood, you know what I'm saying, on the way to the hood. You feel me? Now, it's telling you to take 59 to go up to downtown to come down I-10 in the Beltway. It's like, nigga, that's 45 minutes. I'm not about to do that. I'm going down 610. What you don't know is that the rodeo is in town. They didn't shut down two lanes on each side of the freeway, and it's an accident. But Google got all of that real time. You know what I'm saying? You all you did was put in your destination where you want to go. You know what I'm saying? And Google done ran all of the possibilities of what's going on and sent you the quickest route home, but you think you know better. So you know what? You sit 2 hours in traffic because you know better. You You know what I'm saying? When you could have been home in 45 minutes. Now, it might not have been the road and the path that you would have chosen, but it got you home. You understand? And then 9 times out of 10, when you got home and you looked on the news, dang, all that happened on 610. Man, I'm glad I took the long way around, because you would have been stuck in traffic for 2.5 hours unnecessarily. That is our life. We think we know better, but the Lord designed the entire infrastructure. He says that he wants to give you a life so that you can live it more abundantly. But no, you rather live in mediocrity. You understand? Like, all you got to do, like, once you study for the test, you know the test. You understand? So when anything comes up, you know what to do. All you got to do is study for the test. In Psalms 1, it says, a man of the Lord meditates in the word day and night, so that you know when something comes up, no, I can't do that. It'll be second nature, like muscle memory. You understand? Because you didn't study something. No, that's not right. That's wrong. Well, why is it wrong? I don't know, but it's wrong because you didn't study it. So even if you can't name the chapter and verse, you know that you're not supposed to do it because it's in your spirit. That's what the new covenant is. It said that it will be written on a tablet of your heart that no man will have to teach you. I don't have to come to Sapar's job. Are you eating pork for lunch, Sapar? You know what I'm saying? I don't have to police my wife and be like, are you going to the crawfish boil? You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it was in antiquity. Like the Pharisees and the Sadducees literally had to police the people. The Levitical priesthood had to police the people. But the new covenant is that no man will have to teach you. Because I don't have to tell you because it's inside of you. It's muscle memory. You've done it so much. You've read it so much. You've heard it so much that when it comes in front of you, it's like, that's doo-doo. I can't do that. That's nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, when I smell pork, it literally turns my stomach out. Like, it makes me sick at the smell. Go ahead.
And, learning this truth, but like every time, I see on TV, like they show all the crawfish and lobsters and crabs. I mean, they're so disgusting now. Every time I look at it, I'm like, good.
Bro,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I see it, it's like, oh, so y'all niggas just gonna eat sea roaches, huh? Like, bro, I'm doing this. I'm adding to the history class. Doing these little short stories, man. Busting down the history of the Bible, making it more applicable. And like I'm doing things, talking about the doors in the earth right now, bro. And one of those, it's called a thermal vent, right, on the earth at the sea level, right? And you know what dwells down there, right? Sea worms, shrimps, crab, lobster. The only thing that can survive down there is things that eat things that are dead. You understand? Because the thermal pressure and heat is so hot down there. The only way that you can survive is if you have an exoskeleton or something that's floated down that's already dead, and they clean up and eat up everything that floats to the bottom. You understand? But you rather dwell in mediocrity at the bottom because it's easy. Even though you know it's hot. It's hot in the hood. Every time that you go to the dope spot to get you a dime or a 20 sack of weed, you gambling with your life. You know at any moment the cops could be watching your dope man. You know what I'm saying? He could be a part of a RICO case. I done been in the dope spot when the cops done ran in. You know what I'm saying? It's not fun. You know what I'm saying? You hopping fences, ducking dogs. You know what I'm saying? Doing juke moves on the cops. It's not fun, bro. It's not. You Eddie George in them. You feel me? Like, it's not fun. But you rather dwell in heat and chaos instead of going past the still waters that the Lord is trying to lead you past, because you so used to dwelling in chaos, man. That's not natural. It's not okay. Now, it's good that you have tenacity. It's good that you have grit and that you can mug through these things. You know what I'm saying? But that's not a normal way of life. That's not normal, bro. That's not normal to just like if you feel peace, you feel something's wrong. That's crazy. Like, bro, you understand how crazy that is, bro? That's how like, bro, when I first came in the truth, bro, I was like, hey, bro, things too cool right now, bro. Like, where the okie doke at? Somebody lying around here. You know what I'm saying? Somebody stealing around here. Why my account look like this right now? Nah, bro. Because you used to living in the negative. You used to living in overdraft fees. You know what I'm saying? You used to being in debt. You know what I'm saying? You used to hiding your car so it don't get repossessed. You know what I'm saying? You used to ignoring bill collectors. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know what it's like. Well, why my phone ain't ringing? Well, but your phone used to blow up when you had all the weed. You know what I'm saying? When you had all the drink. I know that's how my phone was. You know what I'm saying? Because I was the plug. You know what I'm saying? Like my phone stayed ringing off the hook. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to party. Everybody want to hang out. Everybody want to come over to the crib. But when I cut all that out, my phone stopped ringing for some reason. When I started being an adult, and as we say in today's society, adulting, and paying my bills on time, phone stopped ringing. Bill collector stopped calling. You know what I'm saying? I was shocked today when I got a call from my car people. They was like, well, Mr. Woodward, we're just giving you a courtesy call. You know, this is out of the loop. You know, we know you normally pay your bills on time, but you know, your car note's due, and you know, it's 2 days past, you know, when you normally pay. Just want to make sure everything's okay. It's like, well, I get paid on Friday. It's like, oh, no problem, Mr. Woodward. Don't worry about it. We just wanted to give you a courtesy call because we saw something that was outside of your normal scope of what you do. You know what I'm saying? So when you're doing the right thing, you dwell in peace. And peace should be a normality. You shouldn't have to worry about chaos. You shouldn't have to, when you go out, be looking over your shoulder because you've been doing dirt. It should be peace. All right? Let's get back to Genesis 26. We was at 26 and 27.
The book of Genesis, chapter 26 and verse 27. And
28. I'm sorry, 28.
Verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, we saw certainly that the Lord was with thee.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, let there be now an oath betwixt us, even betwixt us and thee.
Mm-hmm.
And let us make a covenant with thee. Verse 29. That thou wilt do us no hurt.
Ain't that interesting? Like, that's normally how it works. Like when niggas and set you up, they worried about the repercussions you're gonna do to them. You know what I'm saying? When niggas lie on you to your job, you know what I'm saying? They worry about retaliation against them. You know what I'm saying? When one of your quote unquote partners, you know what I'm saying, try and lie on you to your gal to break you up because they really want your woman, but you got a solid woman and she tell you what that nigga done said and you charge him about it. He worried about your retaliation against him. Hey, bro, I just want to make, this is how I go. I just want to make sure we good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that what niggas say? But we good, right? Well, we straight. I understand, bro. I was wrong, bro. But I just want to make sure. I understand what you're saying, but I just want to make sure that we good. That's what Abimelech is saying right now. Hey, look, I know I kicked you out. You know what I'm saying? Of my land. You feel me? And, you know, I know my predecessor told your pop that you can dwell here, You know what I'm saying? But like, man, you just making too much money on the block, bro. You know what I'm saying? And niggas wasn't eating around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you was looking like me. They was confused with, I thought you was the king, but he looking like the king around here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I had to run you up out of here. And, you know, and I know my servants, you know, on the southwest and the southeast side and on the north side, though, they was giving you hell. You know, you was digging wells and they was taking them from you, you know, and each time you dug away, they told me that thing was overflowing with water. We ain't never had water like that in the valley again. Like, bro, this, you know where you at? Right. This Guerrero, bro. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you been on the northeast and south side of Guerrero, bro, and I'm hearing you making it happen. Bro, don't nobody make it happen in Guerrero, bro. So look, I just want to make sure, because clearly the Lord, which I don't want no smoke, bro. I want to make sure that we good. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord will make a table for you in front of your enemies. When niggas count you out, bro, and set you up, the Lord, all you got to do is stay down, bro. I mean, that's the reason why we love all these gangster movies. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that go away and come back and win. That's why we love stories like that. That's why you love stories like that in the hip hop game. Boys that go and sit their time out and then come home and ball out. That's why you love stories like that, because you have a zeal. It's just not according to knowledge, because that's biblical. Because the Lord will make a table for you in front of your enemies. Keep reading.
As we have not touched thee, and as we have done unto thee nothing but good.
Here, so look, bro, we didn't touch you. We ain't done nothing to you but good. But nigga, you kicked me out of the area that I was dwelling in. I went and dwelled in the valley. You know what I'm saying? And every point of the valley that I went in, your servants that came up against me. But you saying you ain't come up against me, bro? These your subjects, right? Or as we say today, ain't that your man's? That's your man's in them, right?
That's like we ain't know nothing about that.
You know what I'm saying? There you go. Bro, I ain't know nothing about that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part is, when the situation with Abraham and Abimelech, that was literally Abimelech's words to Abraham. He was like, I ain't hear nothing about that until today. You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't come and tell me? Keep reading.
And I will come and have sent thee away in peace. Thou art now the blessed of the Lord.
That nigga said, I sent you away in peace, but no, that's not. He sent him away in envy, because he had grew greater, you understand, than his father. See, now his father was just a mighty prince, but Abimelech was still the king. Isaac grew even greater than his father, and his father was that nigga. To the point to where I thought you was the king, though, but I mean, Isaac over here balling out of control. You know what I'm saying?
Like it. So he was like, on what was that movie Billy, when that guy was eating that
oh yeah.
I don't like
you know
that.
What I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He the Don Dada, you feel me? Like straight up. He was like, but I thought you was the man. He's like, dang, homie, what happened to you? I thought you was the man, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. You feel me? Give me what I want. Give me Psalms 115 and 12. Like, bro, when the Lord is with you, no matter what condition that you in, your resources will grow constantly. You understand? That's what it means. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall feel no evil, because thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, it comforts me. Because no matter what, you know, even though it don't feel good to get poked and prodded and ushered and shepherded, you know at the end of the day, you getting led to a greener pasture. Go ahead, read what you got.
And I'm coming to the book of Psalms, chapter 115 and verse 12.
You gonna read the 15? Go ahead.
The Lord hath been mindful of us.
Mm.
He will bless us. He will bless the house of Israel. He will bless the house of Aaron.
Wait. And this is what I be wanting people to understand. This is what I be wanting Christians to understand, right? Like, people be thinking that, you know, we hate white people, that, you know, we hate Christians, that, you know, we hate all these other nationalities. It's not that. We literally preach what the Bible actually says. I want you to read that one more time for me, brother.
The book of Psalms, chapter 115 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord hath been mindful of us. He will bless us.
Did he say he will bless all?
He will bless us.
Uh-huh.
He will bless the house of Israel.
Okay, so when we're on the street corner and we say that the Lord only loves and he's coming back for only niggas, spicks, and savages, people get offended. Why? That's what the Bible says. The Bible says that the Lord only loved Israel. It literally says, of all the families of the world, you have I only known. So for your transgressions, I will deal with you. You know what I'm saying? Like the king, I mean, and this is how I cut every single Christian. Like, I don't like when people be talking about, you know, Christ loved everybody. I was like, well, Christ loved everybody. Why in Revelations does it say the kingdom of heaven has 12 gates with 12 names for the 12 tribes of the children of Israel? So what gate are the Africans going in? What gate are the Russians going in? What gate are the French going in? What gate are the East Indians going in? What gate are the Eskimos of Alaska? What gate they going in? What gate the Polynesians going in? Tell me. You know what I'm saying? What gate the Mongols going in? The Russians. Tell me what gate they going in. Because that's at the end of the book. Because we are all hoping to get into the kingdom of heaven, right? But at the end of the book, it says that the kingdom of heaven has 12 gates guarded by 12 angels with 12 names for the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. It's 3 gates on each side. And if you're not affiliated with one of those tribes, you're not getting in one of those gates. Riddle me that. But I'm preaching hate. See, you live in a fairy tale. I read what the Bible actually says. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. See, practicality don't sound so good because it ain't no fairy tale. You got to do this to get this. In order for the Lord to keep up his obligations, you have to adhere to the terms of agreements that your ancestors signed off on. You signed the work policy. Keep reading.
Israel, he will bless the house of Aaron. He will bless them that fear the Lord.
He will do what?
He will bless them that fear the Lord.
And let's keep it 1,000. A lot of y'all don't even believe in God. That's really what it boiled down to. The reason why you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments is because you don't believe in God. You understand? The reason why you smoke weed in the church parking lot, don't say you don't, because I used to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a PK. I used to smoke weed with the deacons' kids, the other preachers' kids. You understand? The minister of music's kids. You know what I'm saying? And all of the creme de la creme of the church. You understand? Like straight up. I didn't sold to some members in the church. You know what I'm saying? In the upper echelon. So let's not play coy. Keep reading.
The Lord, both small and great.
You understand? So it don't matter if you small or great in Israel, the Lord is with you. You understand? It don't matter if you at the bottom of the barrel. You understand? You a trash collector, or you a stockbroker. You understand? Or you a leading entrepreneur. You understand? Or an inventor. It don't matter. If you follow the law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord is going to be with you if you are Israel. Keep reading.
Verse 14. The Lord shall increase you.
He shall do what?
The Lord shall increase you
Mm-hmm.
more and more.
And what?
More and more. You and your children.
You and who?
You and your children.
See, because the scripture says that a father leaves an inheritance to his children. Like, if you die and you don't have money for your children to bury you, that's a curse. If you die and you don't have anything to leave to your children, that's a curse. Like, your children, if nothing else, should have money to pay off of your house, have a property that's paid off to where either they can move in to where they don't have to pay rent every month or a mortgage every month, or they can lease out that house to start building wealth for the next generation. Go ahead, brother.
So what if, like, let's say, a brother don't have none of those things, but he start, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Will the Lord, even though he haven't even started the process of doing it, the Lord will still provide for him.
So understand this, right? That's in the scriptures that a man should leave an inheritance to his son, right? If you're doing and you're following the law, statutes, and commandments, and you're serving the Lord, you don't think the Lord will make it to where when you're dead and gone that you won't have an inheritance to leave to your son? Job lost everything, to the point to where his wife told him to curse God and die. You understand? And he refused. Even when he was sick and on his deathbed, and his partners was like, bro, you clearly the Lord ain't with you. And then the Lord showed up, chastised them, and then dealt with him. And because he stayed down and stayed righteous, he said the Lord blessed him. How many?
Tenfold.
No, it wasn't tenfold, brother. It was more than that. It was in the hundreds.
100-fold.
You understand? The water. You feel me? So that's why it says that he will bless you more and more for you and your sons. Because why would he want his legacy to just stop with you? Because remember, it's for him to get the glory. You understand? So that his name will echo on forever. Because remember, Elijah thought it was just him left by himself. He didn't know that he had left, I think it was 40 or 50 men that did not bend the knee to Baal. You understand? That the Lord was preparing to build the next priesthood under Elijah and Elisha. He didn't know that it was 50 prophets that the Lord saved. You understand? That Obadiah was watching over in a cave. He thought he was all that was left. All you got to do is just do what's necessary, and the Lord will bless you. You understand? Like one thing that I never take away from my old man, one legacy and inheritance that he didn't give me, he gave me a green thumb. You know what I'm saying? He taught me how to garden. Now I got a garden in my house. You know what I'm saying? In my apartment, Salakia. We working towards the house. You understand? Teaching me how to be self-sufficient. That's another form of an inheritance. Your father's a blacksmith. You understand? He teaches you the trade of honing metal. If your father's a leather worker, He teaches you how to sew and soften and couture leather. If you came up under the legacy of boxers, I mean, Mayweather is 3 generations of boxers. You understand? His father, his uncle, and him. Now his grandson, you know, he can barely talk, but he got on some boxing gloves. He gonna be the 4th generation. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Lord is. He will bless you to leave an inheritance to your son. But the only way that your son is going to be able to inherit it and do good is if you teach him his culture. Because only if you keep the law, statutes, and commandments that the Lord will raise you high above all nations upon the face of the earth. Go ahead, brother.
So Salakia, so inheritance don't necessarily have to be, you know, calves or, you know, properties and that. It could be skills to and you know, life skills to pass on to your grandchildren and their children.
Definitely. It can definitely be skills. But I'm going to say this. You should not go your whole life and not have money set aside to put your own self in the ground so it's not a burden upon your children. You understand? It's not a burden upon your wife. It's not, that's not brotherhood, having people having to sell plates for your funeral. You understand? Or having to put up a GoFundMe for your burial fund. You understand? If you got a job and they offer life insurance, take out a life insurance policy. You understand? If you got a job and they offer 401k with a beneficiary, take it out, huh? You understand? It just makes sense. That's just money being saved that you don't even got to think about. It just makes sense. You understand? But again, that's doing the things that don't feel good so that you can be blessed in the long run. Like, brother, doing the right thing 9 times out of 10, it doesn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Like when you was a kid, when you woke up in the morning, you didn't want to brush your teeth. You didn't want to tie your shoes. You didn't want to put lotion on. You understand? If it was up to you, you would stay in the same drawers that you wore in the day before. You didn't want to take no shower. You didn't want to take no bath. But you had to be classically conditioned these things as a child so you knew how to take care of yourself, basic needs as an adult. Keep reading.
And it will come, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
You are blessed of the Lord, which made heaven and earth.
Mm-hmm.
The heaven, even the heavens are the Lord's, but the earth have he given to the children of men.
Well, wow. He said, but the earth, and that go back to who was that that asked me that at the beginning of the class? Katrina. You know what I'm saying? That he's given to the children of men, the sons of men. You understand? Christ is the son of man. You a son of man. We a son of men. You know what I'm saying? The children of men are the children of Israel. We are also the sons of God, the princes of the power. All right, let's get back to where we were in Genesis 26, so we can close this thing out and go into 27 a little bit.
Then I will come. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 26 and verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
And he made them a feast, and they did eat and drink. And they rose up betimes in the morning and swear one to another.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. And it came to pass the same day that Isaac's servant came and told him concerning the well which they had digged, and said unto him, we have found water.
We have what?
We have found water.
We have what?
We have found water.
You understand? We have finally found water. Keep reading.
And he called it Sheba. Therefore, the name of the city is Beersheba.
You understand? And that city is the same name today. You understand? That's also the name that his father gave it. You understand? Keep reading.
Until this day. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of
Barai.
Barai, the Hittite, and Bashema, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and to Rebekah.
Why was it a grief of mine to Isaac that Esau took a wife of a Hittite? This is setting the stage for 27.
Because
who are the Hittites?
The Hittites are a Hamitic nation, and Isaac was probably worried that Esau will, form those marriages and form an alliance against him, seeing all the things that he went through with all those other nations.
I'm gonna go a step further. This shows even more so how much Esau didn't give a damn about his birthright. You understand? He already sold it for a meager morsel of uncooked stew, right? But the culture of his father, you understand? He knew the story of his grandfather, Abraham, that he took a wife, Sarah, from his people. He knew that his grandfather sent Eleazar, his number one servant, back to his land to get a wife for his father, and yet he chose a Canaanite woman that his grandfather explicitly told Eleazar and his son not to have of the children of the Canaanite people, right? Give me we're gonna go through a couple of scriptures real quick. Give me Leviticus 11 and 43. Then we're gonna go to 26 and 14, and we're gonna read two after that. Give me Leviticus 11 and 43.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 43. Ye should not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth. Neither shall ye make yourselves.
The scripture says, "Ye shall make yourself abominable."
Says like it. Ye shall not make yourselves abominable.
What does abominable, or the root word abomination, mean?
Abomination do it mean something like despicable,
right?
Disgusting.
And according to the dictionary, it says to regard with intense aversion or loathing, to abhor or to dislike strongly, right? The Lord said, do not make him dislike you strongly or hate you. Read.
Make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth. Neither shall ye make yourselves unclean.
Neither shall you do what?
Neither shall ye make yourselves unclean.
Keep reading.
With them, that ye should be defiled thereby.
You understand? When you sleep with the other nations, you defile yourself, right? It was like, well, Salakia, sir, I mean, you should be able to love whoever you love, right? No. You understand? And I hate to use this example for human beings, but I am, right? Like, me and my wife, we love pit bulls, right? But what makes a pit bull go for $1,000, $2,000? It's the breed, right? What makes a stallion go for $25,000 to $50,000? It's the breed. It has to be a pure thoroughbred. That means no spots on the tongue or in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? You got to be straight purple. You understand? So it's the same thing with us. The Lord chose Israel. So we got 12 flavors out. You understand? Like, brother, like if you can't find you a woman amongst the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, brother, I don't know what to tell you, brother. We got the creme de la creme. We got the finest women on the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? You wanna lay with a East Indian brother that smell like curry? Good night, brother. I don't know what that box smell like. You know what I'm saying? Brother.
Pangolin.
Look, I'm just saying. You feel me? Like I'm just saying, brother. They don't believe in certain hygiene. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you want to lay with some of these Asians? I mean, they be retarded, brother. They just don't got common sense. You know what I'm saying? They want to eat on bats and all of this stuff. You know, you want to lay with Africans from the motherland and all of this stuff, brother. Look, hey, man. Ain't nothing better than a black, Hispanic, or Native American woman, brother. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? And to lay with someone outside of that pedigree means that your mother wasn't a good enough woman. To lay with someone outside of your nationality means that a woman of your mother's creed and nature is not good enough. You're telling your mother that she isn't a good enough woman. You understand? Give me Leviticus 26 and 14. Ooh, no, that's a lot. That's 14 and 30 now. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 1. Don't be like Esau. We're gonna read these next two scriptures, we're gonna get up out of here. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 1. You're gonna read through 5, then we're gonna go to Malachi. You know what I'm saying? Do not be like Esau. This is Esau. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it.
You know what I'm saying? So what does wither mean?
It's another word for whether.
Yeah, if. You know what I'm saying? So wherever the Lord bring you, whether you possess the land or you work in the land, you understand? Go ahead.
And have cast out many nations.
You know what I'm saying? And he's cast out many nations. You understand? Or if you dwell in amongst many nations, go ahead.
Before thee, the Hittites.
The who?
The Hittites.
Who did Esau marry?
The Hittites.
The who?
The Hittites.
Who did Esau marry that gave his father grief?
The Hittites.
Uh-huh.
And the Girgashites.
Uh-huh.
And the Amorites.
Uh-huh.
And the Canaanites.
And the who?
And the Canaanites.
Uh-huh.
And the Perizzites.
Uh-huh.
And the Hivites.
Uh-huh.
And the Jebusites.
Uh-huh.
7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
These are all Hamitic nations. These are all descendants from the nation of Ham. Go ahead.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them. And
be friends with them.
Thou shalt smite them.
Marry them.
Shall smite them.
Make covenants with them.
Shall smite them.
You understand? Dwell amongst them.
Shall smite them.
This should be a lesson for us in our Black, Hispanic, and Native American communities. You understand? All of these other nations that have businesses set up in them, we should starve them out to where they close. And all of those storefronts are put up for sale, and we put our own businesses in there. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
And do what?
And utterly destroy them.
Utterly be friends with them.
And utterly destroy them.
Keep reading.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
You know what I'm saying? And he said, you shall not make no agreements with them. No promises with them. This is what Abimelech was coming to do with Isaac, because he knew who Isaac was and whose Isaac belonged to. Keep reading.
Nor show mercy unto them.
No, do what?
Nor show mercy unto them.
Because they don't show you mercy. When you go into the beauty shop, how many deaths of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have come at the hand of the Vietnamese or the Chinese across America in beauty salons. You understand? I can name at least 3 off the top of my head in LA. You understand? How many times have we been dragged out, you understand, or the police called upon us, you understand, in these nail salons, you understand, by these Vietnamese, you understand, or at these gas stations owned by the East Indians and the Arabs, or at these liquor stores. You understand? Like every time you go to a liquor store, not a wine and spirit store, but a liquor store, you always see one of us out there destroyed, acting a fool, begging for change. You understand? And they set up a racket. Like, bro, it's not hard. Wherever you are in your community, just drive down the block. When you go to get gas, you pay another nation. When you go to get food, you pay another nation. When you get your toiletries, you pay another nation. You understand? When you go to your fast food restaurants, you pay another nation. When you get your beauty and hair care products, you pay another nation. You understand? You know the only thing you pay your nation for? Barbecue. That's it. That's all you pay your nation for, barbecue. Or a taco truck. You know, when you get your insurance for your vehicle, you know who you pay? Another nation. When you buy your house, you know who you pay? Another nation. When you pay for your water, you know who you pay? Another nation. When you pay your light bill, you know who you pay? Another nation. Everything that you do to survive, you pay another nation. You want to know why? Because we've made a covenant and agreement with them. You don't think you do it? You do it every time when you those terms and agreements come up for Facebook, for Instagram, for Snapchat, give me another one for Clubhouse. You understand? For Amazon, for Netflix, for Hulu, you paying another nation. Every dollar that comes out of your pocket, you paying another nation. Everything that you use to survive, you're paying another nation because we're breaking one of the laws of the Most High God because we made covenants with them. You had something you wanted to say, brother?
Come, sir. And then, you know, from making these covenants with the other nation, like, you know, I was driving down Scott, like, you know, Golden Seafood. That's all they serve is what? Fried pork chop sandwiches everywhere you go.
And it's owned by Asians, bro.
Owned by Asians.
You know what I'm saying? And they serving you your food. And the food that's gonna kill you. So they doing a double service. They serving their nation and they killing your nation off. Because they serve their nation a food that's gonna have them live longer. In their neighborhoods, they got their little Buddhist temples with they qigong energy centers to help heal. They got their herbalist centers. They got their acupuncture centers. They got their chiropractors. You know what I'm saying? They got their own doctors. They got their own hospitals. Hell, they even got their own streets in their language. Huh? What you got? You got your oppressor on all 4 sides in your community.
Selling you fried pork chops.
Selling you fried pork chops. Huh? Keep reading.
Verse 3. Neither shall thou make marriages.
Neither shall y'all what?
Neither shall thou make marriages.
You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to marry outside of your nationality. You understand? You marry a white woman, that's a sin. You marry an Arabian woman, that's a sin. You marry an African woman, that's a sin. You marry an East Indian woman, that's a sin. You understand? Well, people are like, but what about Moses? The Lord gave Moses grace because he had to dwell in the land of his oppressors. But he made sure to rear his children up under the law, statutes, and commandments. See, when you come into the truth, This shows how much a righteous man Moses was. You understand? When Moses came into the truth and knowledge of himself, and the Lord came up to him, you understand? Moses didn't throw his wife away. That's what a lot of you wicked niggas would do. You understand? That's what niggas did in Ezekiel. You understand? That's what niggas did in the Apocrypha. When the Lord told them that you had to submit and follow the law, statutes, commandments in the book of Judges, you wanted to throw your wicked wife away. No, Ak. If Salaki, if she's a bitch, that's your bitch. You understand? You chose her. So you have to dwell with her. The Lord would not have you. That's not righteous for you to throw your wife away. Moses loved his wife. You understand? So much so that his father-in-law gave him wisdom on how to rule a nation. Like that, you know, having a captain of 13,000, captain of 10,000, officer of 1,000, officer of 5,000, officer of 1,000, officer of 50, all of that stuff being a trooper, that came from the wisdom of a heathen. You know what I'm saying? So if you dwell righteously, the Lord will dwell righteously with you. But once you tie yourself to a heathen, that's your wife. Or sis, that's your husband. You made that bed, you got to lay in it. But the Lord would have it to where you never have to go through that. That's why he's saying this. And this is also why Isaac was grieved behind Esau. Because he did something that he had no business doing. He was going against his culture. Keep reading.
With them, thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughters shalt thou take unto thy son.
Why? Keep reading.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
They will do what?
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
You want to know why? Because you be a damn fool if you think you marry an Asian from Asia Minor, they not gonna teach their son or daughter about their culture. They gonna teach them about Buddha. You be a damn fool if you marry somebody from Asia Minor, they not gonna introduce them to Krishna and Hinduism. You be a damn fool if you think you marry somebody from the Arabian Peninsula and they not gonna teach them about their culture in Islam and Allah. You be a damn fool if you marry somebody from Africa and they're not going to teach them about Obatala, by Yemiya, you understand, by Shango, you understand, by Ogun and all of these Orisha, you understand, in Ifa, in Voodoo, Hoodoo, and Santeria. You be a damn fool. That's why you're not supposed to marry outside of your culture, because they're going to teach your children and confuse them to serve other gods. A house that divided cannot stand. It will fall. You can't serve two masters. You either going to love one or hate the other. And I guarantee you know what I'm saying? If you marry one, they're going to learn from their mother's need. Where do you think they learn their ABCs from? They're not going to learn Hebrew. They're going to learn Chinese. They're not going to learn Hebrew. They're going to learn Russian. They're not going to learn Hebrew. They're going to learn French. They're not going to learn Hebrew. They're going to learn Ghanaian. They're going to learn Nigerian. They're going to learn Portuguese. They're going to learn Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Because Portuguese and Spanish is not the original language of people in Latin in Central and South and Mesoamerica. That's not their original language. That's the language of their oppressor. They're going to teach their children their culture so they can be multicultural. They'll have your culture and they'll have my culture. And then let's let them choose when they get older which culture they want to follow. This is why the Lord said for you not to marry people outside of your culture. It's not because they might not be a nice person. They just don't serve the God that you serve. Because Everybody on the face of this planet has a spiritual system and a power they answer unto. Their power just isn't your power. It just so happened that your power is the power that created the amalgamation and the framework in which we operate in. But yet you want to attach yourself and dwell and live with mediocrity. When the Lord requires you to make straight A's. Give me one more scripture. Give me Malachi chapter 1. We're going to read 1 through 3 and we're going to be done. Don't be like Esau, because this is what your end result will be. Because remember, Christians will have you believe that the Lord loves everybody. You know, because God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, for whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. But what they fail to realize is that was a conversation between a Jew and a Jew. So, Paul, if I tell you, hey, bro, I'm throwing a party at the crib, invite everybody, does that mean go out here with a megaphone and say it's a party at Tazadok house? No, it don't. It means for you to invite everybody that we know. If two Jews is having a conversation, who is he talking about? Jews, Israelites. You understand? Read.
The book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Mm-hmm.
Was Esau not Jacob's brother?
Look, don't that sound like a Christian? The Lord telling Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, I love you. You understand? Well, where have you loved me? You know what I'm saying? Where have you loved me? But scripture says it is not, that's what a Christian would say to us. The Lord loves you, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but here come Hotel. But ain't Esau y'all brother? So you telling me that the Lord don't love your brother, the white man?
And don't abhor the Edomite?
And don't abhor the Edomite, brother? You know what I'm saying? The Lord telling you how he love you, and he trying to save you, but you worried about the so-called white man. You worried about the so-called Asian. You worried about the so-called African. You worried about the so-called East Indian. You understand? You worried about everybody but yourself and your people. This is about you. You understand? The Lord saying that he loved you, but you like, okay, I mean, I know, I hear what you're saying, brother, but what about our brother Esau? Go ahead.
And this is like him, saith the Lord. Yet I love Jacob, and I hated Esau.
He loved Esau.
And I hated Esau.
But I thought God loved everybody.
And I hated Esau.
How is that possible for God loved everybody, but
I hated Esau?
Keep reading.
And I laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
For the what?
For the dragons of the wilderness.
Keep reading.
Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build in desolate places.
You understand? That's what Esau has done. You understand? When the Lord laid his heritage away, he's like, don't worry about it. We're going to build in desolate places. You understand? Because he knew at one point in time, because Esau is a crafty hunter. He knew if he laid wait in desolate places that somebody would eventually come out there and he could lay a trap for him. And just to show you so much so, the first person that we faced when we came out of Egypt into the wilderness, who was it? Esau. Because he lies and waits in the desolate places. You understand? He waits to pick off the weak. You understand? But when you know your power, you don't have to worry about it. The Lord hates Esau because he grieved his father Isaac. You understand? Because he traded his birthright for and I always give this example, even though we know that Abraham's fortune and Isaac's fortune was way more than $4 million, right? But I always use the example. Would you pay for an uncooked pot or bowl of uncooked beef and potato stew for $4 million? No, you wouldn't. That's what Esau did. That's why the Lord hates him. You understand? The Lord hates him because instead of following the tradition of his forefathers, he went and got a wife from another nation. You understand? That's how you know he got the spirit of Cain, because Cain took a wife from the land of Nod because he was kicked out. This is why Esau was kicked out, because everything that was a part of his birthright, of his culture, of his covenant, he forsook it. That's why it said that he was cunning. He had to learn things from experience. He couldn't just take it for face value for what it was. But Jacob did, because he was a plain man. Plain meant perfect. He wasn't extraordinary. Extraordinary people go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? Plain people blend in and go with it. Jacob went with his culture. Esau didn't. He went against his culture. You understand? And this sets the stage for Genesis 27. I knew we said we was going to get into it today, but we didn't. We finished out 26. And now this sets the stage for what's about to happen in 27. And you don't want to miss this lesson. And with that, we're going to say Amajim, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn. We're going to face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayah, Quadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malat Wakab, Taba'ah, Ratazayakah, Hayah, I.S.U.P.K, Baratazah, Kowab, Hayah, Bashemayah, Natalanalawa, Laham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawatinawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawatinawa, Wala'ah, Tabia'ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahata Para, La'awalamium, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Sar, turn to face the front. Go give a courtesy salute to the brothers and to the sisters. Men of Israel, Body Shabbat, Maju, Rock, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Brakatah, Yadamatah, Sar, turn to face the sister. Men of Israel, Body Shabbat, Maju, Rock, Yahweh Shemar Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah. Yadamatah, dismiss.